Reuters reports on the Kremlin's stance on a month-long ceasefire. Director of US intelligence confirms renewal of data exchange with Ukraine, and how Russian forces launch offensive on Sudzha in Kursk region. That is news next. Russian forces reacted cautiously to the US proposal for a 30-day ceasefire supported by Kiev, reports Reuters. They said that any agreement to end the war should take into account the situation on the battlefield. A senior Russian source told Reuters that it would be difficult for dictator Vladimir Putin to agree to the idea of a ceasefire without discussing the terms and receiving any guarantees. The anonymous source said, quote, "It is difficult for Putin to agree to this in its current form. Putin has a strong position because Russia is advancing." The source added that without ceasefire guarantees, Russia's position could quickly weaken, and then the West could accuse Russia of falling to end the war. Another senior Russian source said that from Moscow's point of view, the ceasefire proposal looks like a trap, as it would be difficult for Putin to stop the war without concrete guarantees or promises. A third Russian source said that the overall picture is that the United States has agreed to resume military assistance and intelligence sharing and has added a ceasefire proposal. Kremlin has not yet commented on this information, but aren't the Russians completely out of their minds? What kind of security guarantees do they think they deserve? They are the aggressor, the invaders, the terrorists who have brought death and destruction to Ukraine. After bombing cities, murdering civilians and committing war crimes, they dared to demand guarantees for themselves. The only guarantee they should get is that they will be held accountable for their crimes. If Russia is truly concerned about its security, there is a simple solution: get out of Ukraine, withdraw every single soldier, stop the killing, and end this brutal, unjustified war. There is nothing to discuss. Ukrainian sovereignty and territorial integrity are non-negotiable. Russia started this war, and it is Russia that must end it by leaving Ukrainian land completely. Until then, they have no right to talk about security guarantees while they continue their terrorism. The pause in intelligence sharing between Ukraine and the US has ended, Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence of the United States of America, reports.
Because of Donald Trump's leadership, we are one significant step closer to ending the bloody war in Ukraine. Per the President's direction, the pause on intelligence sharing with Ukraine has ended.
About intelligence sharing between Ukraine and US. At the beginning of March, the US suspended the supply of weapons and intelligence sharing with Ukraine following an altercation between President Volodymyr Zelensky, President Donald Trump, and Vice President J.D. Vance in the Oval Office. The normalization of aid supplies and the resumption of intelligence sharing was achieved after several hours of negotiations between the US and Ukraine and Saudi Arabia on March 11th. Furthermore, the American aerospace company Maxar Technologies restored Ukraine's access to its satellite imagery under the Global Enhanced Delivery Program. During the negotiations in Saudi Arabia, the US proposed a 30-day ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia. Kiev, in turn, supported the proposal. We sincerely thank our allies and partners for their unwavering support. Your commitment, solidarity, and assistance mean the world to us in these challenging times. We deeply appreciate your efforts and stand together in the pursuit of peace, justice, and freedom. Your support strengthens our resilience, and we will always remember those who stand with us. So, thank you. Russia launched a missile and drone attack on Ukraine on the night of the 11th to the 12th of March, firing 3 Iskander-M ballistic missiles and 133 attack drones and targeting 5 regions of the country. Ukrainian Air Defense Forces shot down 98 Shahed drones and other UAVs, while 20 Russian drones failed to reach their targets, reported by Ukrainian Air Force on social media. About details, from 9 p.m. on the 11th of March, Russian forces launched 3 Iskander-M ballistic missiles from Crimea, targeting the cities of Odessa and Kryvyi Rih. The attack also involved 100 33 strike drones of the Shahed type and other decoy UAVs launched from multiple locations, including the Russian cities of Oryol, Shatalovo, Millerovo, Kursk, Bryansk, and Primorsk-Akhtarsk, and Chauda in temporarily occupied Crimea. As of 9:30, early estimates confirmed the downing of 98 Shahed drones and other types of UAVs over the cities of Kharkiv, Poltava, Sumy, Chernihiv, Cherkasy, Kyiv, Zhytomyr, Khmelnytskyi, Vinnytsia, Ternopil, Rivne, Dnipropetrovsk, Zaporizhia, Odessa, and Kherson regions. In addition, 20 Russian decoy drones were lost from radar without causing any adverse effects. The attack caused damage in Odessa, Dnipropetrovsk, Kharkiv, Sumy, and Kyiv regions. This is not the behavior of a country that seeks peace. It is the brutality of a terrorist state that knows only violence. They continue to kill civilians, destroy cities, and spread terror while pretending to be victims. Russian words about peace are empty lies, drowned out by the sound of their own bombs. Russian troops continue their advance on Sudzha in the Kursk region, capturing new territories. Geolocation footage confirms the Russian forces' progress south of Sudzha, the American Institute for the Study of War reports. In particular, Russian forces continue their advance in the Kursk region, and the latest geolocation data confirms that Russian troops have likely launched an offensive on the city of Sudzha, according to RSW on March 11th. Footage was released showing that Russian troops had captured several settlements, including Bondaryovka, east of Sudzha, Zamosty, and Makhnovka, southeast of Sudzha. Other geolocation footage shows that Russian forces have also advanced towards central Zazulevka, southeast of Kalmakov and Kurilovka. Russian military bloggers stated that Russian forces captured Kazachya Loknya and Knyazhi, which forced Ukrainian units to retreat from these areas. They also reported that Russian units, including the 22nd Motorized Rifle Division and the 155th Naval Infantry Brigade, have advanced south of Sverdlikova and continue moving east along the Korenevo-Sudzha highway. Raiding operations. The RSW report mentions that the situation on the southern outskirts of Sudzha remains tense as Russian troops from the 11th Airborne Brigade continued their advance toward the city from the direction of Myrny. Russian military bloggers also report the capture of settlements such as Kolmakova and Dmitrukov, which allows Russian forces to strengthen their positions around Sudzha. Simultaneously with the advancing actions of Russian troops, raiding operations along the international border between the Sumy and Kursk regions continue. According to Ukrainian military reports, Russian reconnaissance and sabotage groups are actively operating in border areas, particularly south of Totkina, northwest of the Kursk region. These groups are conducting attacks on border areas in the Sumy and Chernihiv regions. Ukrainian border guards also report an increase in Russian drone and artillery strikes on border areas of the Sumy region. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Support Ukraine, like and subscribe.